The short and simple annals of the poor. That's my life, and that's all you or anyone else can make out of it. Abraham Lincoln, writing in 1860. Equal rights for all men, emancipation. The Reverend Adam Shoemaker, an influential Baptist in the world of Lincoln's youth. The roads were rough, the conversation unusual. In about his 40th year, around 1850, Abraham Lincoln folded his long, angular frame into a one-horse buggy in Springfield, Illinois, for the 19-mile trip from the capital city to the courthouse in Petersburg, the seat of neighboring Menard County. He was riding with his law partner William Herndon, who recalled that the case they were to try was one in which we were likely to touch upon the subject of hereditary traits. Pondering the subject, Lincoln spoke of his mother, the late Nancy Hanks Lincoln. It was a striking, introspective, and candid moment. He said that she was the illegitimate daughter of Lucy Hanks and a well-bred Virginia farmer or planter, Herndon recalled, and he argued that from this last source, the Virginia grandfather, came his power of analysis, his logic, his mental activity, his ambition. Lincoln had thought much on the subject. His theory had been that illegitimate children are oftentimes sturdier and brighter than those born in lawful wedlock, Herndon said, and in his case, he believed that his better nature and finer qualities came from this broad-minded, unknown Virginian. The buggy bumped along. Lincoln was pensive. The revelation, painful as it was, called up the recollection of his mother, and, he added ruefully, God bless my mother. All that I am or ever hope to be, I owe to her, and immediately lapsed into silence. Lincoln's quiet was more anguished than peaceful. Burying himself in thought, his companion recalled, he drew round him a barrier which I feared to penetrate. Herndon was struck by the details of the exchange and the depth of feeling evident in Lincoln's tone. Aside from the date and location of his birth, Sunday, February 12, 1809, in Hardin County, Kentucky, Lincoln usually had but little to say of himself, the lives of his parents or the history of the family, Herndon recalled. There was something about his origin he never cared to dwell upon. To a correspondent who asked for information on his background once he became a national figure, Lincoln said, "There is not much of it, for the reason, I suppose, that there is not much of me." There was, in fact, much to Lincoln, and the best parts of them, he believed, came not from those forebears whom he knew, but from those he did not, the mysterious Virginia gentleman grandfather and long-dead Lincolns. The roots of his ambition to rise above his frontier birth may lie in his imaginative connection to ancestors, known and unknown, who had left a mark on the world. As a child and a youth, living in poverty, embarrassed by stories of promiscuity in his mother's family, and facing a life of spirit-sapping labor and drudgery, Lincoln likely sought solace in the belief that he was a son of forebears who had transcended their time and place. If they could do so, the young Lincoln believed, then perhaps he could, too. The family's New World saga had begun with Samuel Lincoln, who had immigrated from Norwich, England, settling in Hingham, Massachusetts, about 1637. Puritan dissenters in England, the Lincolns of Hingham were prominent in their religious community in the Massachusetts Bay Colony, prospering in business and helping to build Hingham's handsome Old Ship Church. Samuel and his wife, Martha Lincoln, had 11 children. One of their grandchildren, Mordecai, became a successful man in central Pennsylvania, marrying Hannah Salter, a well-connected daughter of a New Jersey family that included lawmakers in the Colonial Assembly and an acting royal governor. In 1716, Hannah Lincoln gave birth to John Lincoln, who continued the family's migration south and west when he and his wife, Rebecca Flowers Lincoln, settled on a large farm on Linville Creek in the Shenandoah Valley in 1766. He was to be known to history as Virginia John Lincoln. Their son Abraham, the grandfather of the 16th president, had been born in Pennsylvania in 1744 and became an eager militiaman, earning the rank of captain. In 1774, he fought in Lord Dunmore's War, a conflict between colonial forces under the command of John Murray, Lord Dunmore, the royal governor of Virginia, and a Shawnee-led Indian confederacy.